In this take here, I want to talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the LA Clippers. Before we get into that, though, please like, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. We put out content every day, so you won't miss any content here. Let's just go ahead and jump right into this. So this was a game where, the Timberwolves came out swinging. They came out doing their thing. They came out playing hard. But, at the same time, it doesn't matter because, like I said, when you play a team that's really just better than you, the ending result should always be the same. And the Clippers were the better team. They ended up winning by like 20 points. Shout out to PG, everything didn't go like the best, but he could have scored more points, but it wasn't really necessary. They got the victory. Reggie Jackson was right behind them, had 20 points. Paul George had 21 points. The most impressive, with me, though, I was impressed with Zubac, 14 and 14 rebounds. That's where Zubac should be pretty much like every night. I think he could score a little bit more than that, but I think he should have at least, if he's in the starting lineup, he should at least get, 17 and 14 a night, especially without Kawhi Leonard there because, he has to take more of a offensive, load now that, you need all the scoring you can get. But 14 and 14 is acceptable. I think that, of course, he can play better going forward. But, him showing promise and playing, in nights like these and, securing some big boards when the Clippers needed it is always a good thing. And it's always a good recipe for winning. So, I like what I saw from pretty much everybody. Like I said, the Clippers had like 5 players in double figures, and 2 of them, I think, there was a few players like had 8 points as well. So, Terrence Mann had like 13 or 14. Like I said, Reggie Jackson tripped in with 20. PG had 21, and Zubac had 14. I think Batum was in double figures as well. It was, like I said, it was a collective effort all over, and this is why I said the Clippers are going to have to play like this going forward. That's just how they're going to have to play every team. It's got to be a collective effort from everybody. It can't really be all on Paul George and then some guys chip in here and there. It's not going to work that way on offense. And it's going to have to play out that same way on defense too. It can't be all Paul George. Other guys got to step up and, put their hand in there and swipe and try to get some steals and deflections and turnovers because that's the only way the Clippers are going to win. They have to be a scrappy and feisty team this season because they don't have what they need to have in their main star player, but they do have a lot of talented players and they do have some good defensive players as well. So you got to give them credit there, but they also got to play like they're a much better defensive team going forward. Now tonight, shout out to, like I said, the Clippers. They took care of business. And I'll also shout out to Minnesota, too. Like I said, Anthony Edwards is, I think he's an up-and-coming star player. I don't talk about him much, but he's really, really impressive. Cat has always been impressive, so they got some pieces over there. Individualized. I'm not saying they're going to go anywhere anytime soon, but they're definitely a team you're not going to walk on. They're going to play you hard, and they might slip up and beat you if you don't take them serious enough. So I definitely give Minnesota credit in regards to that. And plus, Pat Bev is over there. So, hopefully the Clippers or somebody from the organization is talking maybe to get Pat Bev back on the Clippers. That's a long shot, but hey, the Clippers can definitely use him at this point because they can definitely use more defense and they can definitely use more of a vocal leader in the locker room when it comes to defense, and that's what they depended on Patrick Beverley for. So shout out to him being on the other side, but hey, the Clippers tonight is on the winning side, and that's pretty much all that matters. Now the Clippers going forward, as I said, they need to be a little bit more efficient, in regards to continuously doing it. They have their nights where they're efficient. They have their nights where they're shooting good. They have their nights where they're going to play really well. But what I mean when I say that, they just need to do it throughout a stretch where they can go on a good winning streak. A 4 or 5, 6 game winning streak is where they need to be at. They need to kind of separate themselves from 500 basketball. They need to be a team that's like, 4 or 5 games over 500. You know what I'm saying? So they need to be that type of team so they can better their chances to solidify a spot in the playoffs when it comes time for seeding to really be, looked at as the most important thing, So that's what the Clippers need to focus on and go in every game and, put your foot down, let the other team know that you're here to stay and your presence got to be felt. And that's the way the Clippers are going to win games. That's the way they're going to ride together. And that's the way they're going to find their success. PG, keep doing your thing. Shout out to my boy Kawhi. Hopefully he come back sooner than later. Shout out to Serge Ibaka too, because like I said, he's going to be coming back as well. You know what I'm saying? I think his return is really, really close, based upon what he was saying. So I think that's definitely a big chip for the Clippers. And that's definitely something that they can, hang their hat on in regards to, having a versatile player like that come back into their offense that can make them more dynamic with Zubac backing him up. You know what I'm saying? And him Zubac learning from Serge Ibaka, and while Zubac is backing him up, it's only going to make their tandem a little bit better, a little bit stronger when it comes to playoff basketball. And that's what the Clippers want. They want versatility from every position, because that's what's really going to make them a special team if they get versatility from every position. When you take one man out, you put the other man in, and he may not be just as effective, but he's effective enough to keep the operation going. And that's what Ty Lue was all about, having his players, play to that type of mentality and that type of position, because he wants flexibility and he wants versatility in every position to make other teams not be able to look at the Clippers and see that the Clippers are predictable. When you have versatility in every position, it makes you more unpredictable to other teams. And the challenge of going at you from what angle to attack you at makes it more difficult for the coaches and the staff on the other side to figure out how to get the best of you. And that's what the Clippers are going to need. And that's the way Ty Lue is going to have to kind of implement how he wants these guys to play and what he can get out of them, because I know he can get the best out of these guys, but they just have to keep going forward. And tonight's another step towards the right direction. You can like laugh at it, but they got a 2-game winning streak. I hope they take that winning streak to 6 or 7, kind of get a little bit of a separation from 500 basketball. But hey, that's my take on the situation. Leave any comments in the comment section as always. Let me know what you think. And hey, Cali out.